The very first thing that I'm going to say is that if COVID-19 was a real person, it would be on site. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is Ariel Savant here, and today is a very serious story time. It's a story time that I really battled with saying or recording, but I realized I have not put any content on my YouTube in so long, and it's so hard because I'm working, I'm in school, and I just really don't have a lot of ideas on what to talk about. But this story time is very serious. It's something that pretty big just happened. We're only a few days removed from it, and I was like, you know what, why not? Maybe this could be a little bit of therapy for me. I also want to say that I am going to have a lot of friends and a lot of family members upset with me because I did not tell, I think only a handful of people knew this, and I was told to keep it under wraps, and I did. And so a lot of people are going to be very upset that they didn't know before I filmed this video, but honestly, listen, I'm not going to sit here and apologize at the same point. Actually, I take it back. I can't. I wanted to surprise everybody, but I got to surprise myself. Okay, so like the title says, I was one of the people who was initially supposed to be in the Super Bowl halftime show, the weekend Super Bowl halftime show, which, by the way, the weekend, it was absolutely amazing, beautiful. I enjoyed watching it. So this story starts way back in the very beginning of January. I had a supervisor of mine reach out to me, and she sent me an email about a casting call for the Super Bowl halftime show. And I was like, wow, this sounds amazing. And I'm in school, I work, and I just really was skeptical at first because I didn't think that I would be able to do the show because I just didn't think I would have the time to do it. But I decided to put my name in to go for it, and I was one of the people chosen, thank God. That meant the world to me to even be chosen to do it. And so I was emailing back and forth, and they told me that they're going to be reaching out over the next couple of weeks, and we're going to start training. And I was like, okay, cool. So the weekend before training began, or a few days before training began, they sent us a video of the choreography that we will be doing and learning. And so I started learning it, and I was pretty much excited about the opportunity. One thing about the NFL that I want to make sure I also put out there, they were super safe. They were definitely social distance. They were only taking certain people at a certain amount of time. They had hand sanitizer everywhere. They provided N95 masks every single practice, and we got tested every other day. My first day getting tested, I was so nervous. I was like, I take COVID very seriously. So I was always wearing my mask whenever I would go anywhere, wearing my mask, making sure I'm protected, hand sanitizer down. I probably have a little package of 7 or 8 little water bottles on me at all times. Not water bottles, hand sanitizer bottles. I wanted to make sure that I was like, if there is any time not to get COVID, it is right now. I could have gotten COVID Monday, February 8th, and I would have been fine. I was like, I need to make it to the Super Bowl because I'm going to be in this performance. So it's the first day of practice, and the first day is actually, we just do testing. So we drive through for testing. My test results come back the next day. I'm negative. Hey, negative. Who has COVID? Not me. Right? The first day was testing was on Tuesday, and then Wednesday we got our results back. And then Thursday was the first day of actual, we were going to be running the choreography and getting placed on the field and stuff. So we learned the choreography, everything's cool. And then Friday morning, I remember it was super cold in Tampa, and I wake up and it's I have this, it felt like allergies. It didn't even feel like a cold. Because I didn't cough, I didn't have a headache, I was just very congested and my eyes are watery. So I thought personally it was allergies because I suffer from really bad allergies, and that's exactly what I feel like. Congested, watery eyes, and I was sneezing. And this is not COVID. I Googled it, I was like, this is not COVID. There's no way I can have COVID. COVID says you're gonna be coughing, fever, headache, and I wasn't experiencing any of that. And there was literally a section that said the differences between allergies or cold and then COVID, and I was definitely all in the allergy and cold column. So I was like, oh, I'm good. It was really cold, and it just, kind of got to me. That's all. So I thought. So I get tested, and I think I'm fine. And I've been talking, that night I was talking to a few friends on the phone or whatever, and they were telling me, I was sneezing while I was on the phone. I was sneezing or whatever, blowing my nose, wiping my eyes. And they were saying, Ariel, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. It's just allergy stuff. I know I'm fine. I'm good. And I was like, I'm going to be okay. I know I'm fine. So I wake up Sunday morning. I think I wake up like right at 9 or like a little bit after 9, and I see my phone and I have like 4 missed calls. Now, at this point, I've been tested 3 times. The first 2 times, I know what it's like. You get tested, they give you your results back the next day, and that's pretty much it. So I see 4 missed calls, and I'm like, no, absolutely not. There's no way. There's no way this is possible. And you know how, if I have an iPhone, so you know when you go to see that you have a voicemail, you can read the voicemails. And so I clicked on the voicemail, I was reading it, and it said, "Hi, this is so-and-so, and we wanted to talk to you about your test results." I just knew from that point I just knew that from that point, it was just over. And so they also told us to download this app. So I had the app as well. So I clicked on the app, and I read, "You have tested positive for COVID-19. And that just killed me because I knew about the quarantine. And at this point, it's Sunday. So I'm 7 days away from the Super Bowl. I call them back, and they're saying, "Hi, we're so sorry to let you know, but we had to take you out of the show. You tested positive for COVID-19. And of course, you know, I've always said if I got COVID-19, that's one thing, but if I gave it to someone, that's a different thing. And I would just feel so terrible." And so I was taken out the show. And that, in the moment, I don't know, it was just so unbelievable. So I really struggled with like taking it in. And as y'all know, I'm a big wrestling fan, and there was a big wrestling show coming on that night, on Sunday night. So I think all of that in my head just kind of like kept me preoccupied, and I didn't really fathom or grasp the fact that I wasn't going to be in the show. And so they told me, "Yeah, we can't put you in the show. We also need to talk to you because we need to find out if you've been in contact with anyone within your past couple of days of practice. We want to make sure that everyone else is okay." I did find out that other people also tested positive, so it really, really sucks because it's like, how many people can do the Super Bowl? You know, how many opportunities do you get at that? At the Super Bowl halftime show. And so to think that I was this close, and like I knew the choreography, I had my wardrobe fitting, and it just kind of like taken all away from me, and I couldn't do anything about it. So then the week comes, and I'm quarantining. So Sunday was my first day of quarantine, and I'm just like, I couldn't do anything. And my roommates were also super, super serious about me. Like I almost like never left my room. I think I might have walked out of my room 2 or 3 times. And at first I thought it was a false positive. So I was on the phone with my friend. I was like, I don't know. I feel fine because mind you, I didn't tell you, Sunday morning when I woke up and I found out I was positive, I was no longer congested. I didn't have watery eyes. I didn't sneeze. I felt 100% fine. And so I just really knew, I was like, oh, this is a false positive. Like, I'm just going to beg to get tested again. And they told me that they tested me twice. And like, "We're sorry, it's official." And my friend was like, "Are you sure you just don't?" She was like, "You're probably asymptomatic, friend." And I was like, that just sucks because it really, really, really sucks. And so then I went to like see if I could smell things. Y'all, I opened up a bottle of Clorox. Tell me why I cannot smell anything. I cannot smell anything. My roommate cooked for me. I could not taste whatever he was cooking. He could have been giving me straight vegetables and I would have been fine. Like, I just would not have tasted it. Is it not absolutely crazy? And so that's when it really hit me. It was like, wow, out of all the times that I could have gotten it, and I'm super protected, I get it, and it takes away this super, super important, iconic, legendary opportunity away from me. And that, it still kind of stings, like, because it's only been a few days since the Super Bowl, so it still kind of sucks. Sorry, it's still, just on my mind a little bit. But yeah, so I was like, I officially have it. So I was quarantined throughout the week, and I was so scared because, you know, everyone reacts to it differently, and there's different strains of COVID, so you never know how it can affect you. I'm not getting any fevers, I'm not getting any coughs, I'm not getting any colds or anything. And I believe it was Monday, the NFL contacted me and they were saying, "We would love to know," which is why I want to make sure that I completely shout out the NFL because they were so serious about it. Like, or people who were working with the halftime team. I don't know if that's the same team or not, but they were checking in on me. They were making sure I was okay, and they were just trying to make sure that I didn't cross contaminate, I guess. So I was making sure I was being as cooperative as possible. And so I'm quarantining throughout the week, and nothing new is happening. The Department of Health contacts me, and they're saying, hey, we just want to call, make sure you're doing okay. We saw that you tested positive, so we want to know how you're feeling. And I told them, well, really, I'm not experiencing anything. You know, I had the sniffling and stuff at the very beginning, and now I just have loss of taste and smell, but I don't know where I am, and I don't know how, like, should I be expecting a fever at this point? Should I expect the chills? And is the trouble breathing coming in? Like, that was all scary to me, because this is a side note. I hate sleeping hot. And honestly, I'm wearing this long sleeve shirt and it's a little hot now. I hate being hot. So if I would have got a fever, I just would have been like so frustrated. So that freaked me out. It terrified me. They told me, well, if you are not experiencing any new symptoms, you can actually get retested after 5 days. I was okay. So I tested positive on Saturday. So I'm going to get tested again on Friday. So I go Friday and I go to get a test done, and I'm just like, most likely it's going to be positive. I mean, I've always heard of like the quarantine for 10 days and you need to make sure you're staying away from people. And so I got a test done, and the doctor comes back to tells me, you're no longer COVID positive, you're negative. I wanted to jump out of my seat. I was so excited. I was like, yes, yes, yes. Hopefully they can let me back in the show. That was like what was going through my mind. I was like, maybe I can get a chance to get back in the show. It was meant to be. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And so I contacted the NFL again, and they told me, hey, we're so sorry. Because at this point, I had missed like 3 or 4 practices. And I think at that point, it was like dress rehearsals and super important items. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense. So, of course, you have re-blocked people. Dress rehearsals are out. People have their outfits. They have their masks. So, of course, like, it's no way that I can, you know, get back in the show. But of course, I wouldn't have forgave myself if I never asked. They were like, we're so sorry. We're glad you're feeling better. We're glad you're negative, but we just can't allow it. And I was like, of course. So thank you for the opportunity. And so I talked to my doctor, and he was asking me why I kept getting tested so often, because he saw I had like the track record of getting tested every other day. And I told him, I was like, I can't tell you exactly what I was doing, but I was doing something with the NFL for the Super Bowl. And he was like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. And I was like, yeah, you know, it happens. And he literally goes,
no, it doesn't. Do you know how rare it is to do something for the Super Bowl? Like, wow, that sucks.
yeah, it sucks. Thank you for telling me. But like, I'm trying to make myself feel better. So you're not helping. I know I'm negative, but I live in Tampa and it was Super Bowl weekend. So I decided to stay in and not really go out anywhere anyways. And I was doing fine. I was doing good. I was fine. And then I think the actual day that the Super Bowl came, it just all like whoosh, hit me. Like knowing the schedule and knowing like, oh, at this time they're going to be doing this, and here they're doing this. And I just knew what was going on. And like me sitting in my room and just not doing anything, it was eating me alive. And part of me was like, maybe I shouldn't watch the show because I don't want to feel like, I don't want to have that FOMO, fear of missing out feeling. But at the same time, it's like, no, let me watch the show. Let me support the other guys. And of course, like, I'm really talking as if I was just like a main integral part. But I mean, I was going to be a part of it. So I still have that feeling of like, dang, I missed out. But I still want to make sure that I watch the show, you know, because I knew how much work they put into it. And I was like, it's going to be a production. For reference, I was supposed to be like one of the guys in the red jackets and the mask at the very end doing the dance on the field. And so I'm watching the performance and I'm like, okay, because the first 3/4 of the performance, I didn't know anything about because they started doing that, running that stuff the week I was quarantining. So I didn't know anything about it. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And I'm kind of dreading, like, I'm like, okay, I know my part's coming up. My part. I know the part's coming up where, you know, they're going to do the dance. And I see it happen. I'm like, ah, man. It was so cool to see. And it was like, this is awesome. But dang, you know, I wish I was there. And it doesn't help that I live 5 minutes away from the stadium. So I can almost hear the cannons, hear the fireworks. And it's just like, man, to be there would have been a movie. It would have felt like I was in a movie. And seeing it on screen, it was so visually appealing. It was so gorgeous. So yeah, it really, really sucked. But I guess that's just what happens. You know, everything happens for a reason. Again, I want to shout out, you know, The Weeknd, NFL, the halftime show, Pepsi, anyone who was involved. Like, it was absolutely amazing. I love watching the show. All of the guys in the show killed it. Y'all, they like, when I was there, like, we worked hard. It was like hours, and like sometimes we were in like the hot sun, and we worked hard, you know, like it was a good production, and a lot of work went into it. I hope this video does not come off as bitter or anything like that. You know, I just figure like, why not? It's a story. It's a story time I can do, and I haven't really gave you guys anything on my channel in a minute. So sorry if I was stumbling over words, but it was just so much to just digest, you know, like I was this close to being in a Super Bowl halftime show, and now it just kind of got taken from me. I am blessed though, because y'all, there are people dying every day from COVID-19. There are people on ventilators. Hospitals are at capacity because people are in the hospitals sick, sore, can't move, can't breathe. And that terrifies me. So the fact that I had COVID and I was able to be safe at the very end of it, that's the most important thing. My health was, you know, number one. So the fact that I'm sitting right here telling this story, you know, it means a lot. I never thought I would be someone who would have got it, to be honest. I always thought like, you know, I don't get sick. I really don't. I normally only have allergy issues. We live in America where people are not taking this as important as they should be. So it's very, very important, you all, to wear your mask, have your hand sanitizer, wash your hands. You know, it can come from anywhere. I read somewhere that asymptomatic people, I could be wrong, but it's almost half of the transmissions because people just are not aware that they have it. So outside of taste and smell, because I genuinely thought I just had a regular allergy issue, I would not have gotten tested. I just would not have figured that I had it, you know, and that's scary, you know. I'm glad I was tested. So everything happens for a reason. Would I love for opportunity to do the Super Bowl? Of course. I mean, who wouldn't? It's the Super Bowl. And on top of that, Tampa won. I live in Tampa, so it just would have been like the perfect weekend, you know, like the perfect capture of like, wow, I lived in a city where they hosted the Super Bowl. I performed in a Super Bowl. That just sounds like such a dream. And I'm glad that a lot of guys got to experience that. I wish I was out there, of course, but hopefully, you know, I believe in the universe. I believe in God, and I believe that there are just things on the horizon for me. There are things coming in my future. So I wouldn't be sitting here today if I was not meant to be sitting here today. Thank y'all so much for listening to my story. I know that I am probably going to get some calls, some texts, some strongly worded people are probably going to come at me, but I just, you know, I didn't tell people about the show because I wanted to surprise everyone. I was going to talk about it after the show, but then I didn't want people to be scared about me having COVID and just put that all out there like that. And I just wasn't ready to, but I think that this is a little bit of therapy for me, like to be able to say, you know, like, hey, I could have been a part of something cool too. I kind of feel like I hope I don't sound like a reject, but I kind of feel like one, you know? But again, thank y'all so much for listening to this. If you are here, thank you so much. If you would like to learn more, what am I trying to say? Let me just start that completely over. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends about me, tell your family about me. I love y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much for the support. And like always, until next time,